I need to ask you a question. Be curious, Drifters.
Allegron's won the Brisbane Cup, but it's all Antino. Blake Shin, take a bow. Barrakiel, Benny Allen hasn't moved.
Broadside him, bobbed, won the Golden Rose.
Pride of Jenny, trying to find the reserves at the 100. She's 3 in front of Mr. Brightside. It's all too late. Pride of Jenny has run them into the night. Switzerland, the big winner by 2.5 Bellatrix Star.
He's down, Jolly Star. She is a star in the making. Jolly Star bolts in.
It's all Isthmus. She's very smart and fast.
Mate, welcome. Still, I guess, basking in the glow of a back-to-back premiership, you know, and but we have another one to win this week with the mighty Brisbane Broncos in the Rugby League. I must ask you, actually, where do your allegiances lie this weekend? Because your beautiful wife, G, is a Storm supporter, but I feel like you have an appreciation for the Broncos.
Oh, absolutely. Like if you know the suffering that I've endured throughout my lifetime as a Dragon supporter, you know, lends itself to me having to find a team to support in the finals each and every year because the Dragons inevitably aren't there, which is a roundabout way of me telling you that there's teams that I definitely grow an appreciation for, and Melbourne's definitely number 2. They're number 2 for me. I love how they go about things, but Bronx are number 3 for me. A clear number 3. That's the pedestal. So by that logic, the Storm are my team this weekend. But look, I'll be smiling if the Broncos win. Absolutely. The great city deserves it. They deserve a redemption arc from 2 years ago. And I want to see Benny Hunt get a premiership ring.
Yeah. Mate, it was actually a trap, but you answered that completely wrong. You should have said you hope that both teams lose. That's the actual answer to the question. It was a trap, so... yeah.
Look, I feel trapped now, and I feel like an idiot. I shouldn't have said anything. I should have said, fuck them both, go the Dragons. But, mate, look, I've already won a premiership this year with the Lions, so who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
How are you feeling about it? You feeling up and about? Like, you feeling confident? What do you reckon?
Yeah. No, I think Broncos similar. It's actually very similar to the Lions, I feel. Their best footy wins. Like, their best footy is the best in the comp. So, if they can put it together on the biggest stage, and I think they kind of proved that they can do that, especially in that second half. On the weekend, I think the Bronx can get the JD. And I don't know, mate, like that Storm ship might have actually been hit by a storm because their defense is leaky. It's leaky.
Yeah. And the Storm have had stretches this year where they've been very cold, like where they just haven't looked like a side that is favourites to win a premiership. The Broncos' run in the finals this year gives me Brisbane Lions 2024 vibes. Winning from impossible positions, building that belief, and having periods throughout the home and away season where they were written off. They can't win a premiership when they're playing this sort of dross. Broncos lost 5 in a row this year. But that steeled them for the grand final this weekend. So... I hope it's a good game. Good luck to all my friends and family who are Broncos supporters, and good luck to my beautiful wife G, who's a Melbourne supporter.
I can see the headlines now. Reece Lightning as like the Broncos down Storm. That's going to be the headline. So I might have to have a little bet on my Nets profile with you know what, Reece first try scorer into Reece. Not Norm, Clive.
Yeah. That's a good shout.
And Reece hasn't been my guy. So
yeah, no. Did you see that stat floating around? Darren Lockyer said it. That in the last, 98 games or something like that. Actually, let me get it up because I don't want to fuck this up. I'll sound like an absolute idiot if I fuck this up.
Yeah, be careful when you're quoting. Be careful when you're quoting the great Darren Lockyer, please.
Okay, so a stat that was shared with me earlier this week, this is Darren Lockyer, as an indication of how much the Broncos had to dig deep for this since 2020, when the Panthers have been 12 or more points in front in a game, they're 98-0.
Fuck, really? Wow.
So they're now 98-1 after the Broncos beat them on the weekend.
So a literal 1% chance.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, that's a good stat. Thank you for providing that.
Yeah,
that's
so
wild
go Buck.
stuff.
Go Buck.
Yeah, fucking oath. I reckon Buck will be there, just absolutely taking a big smelly shit in New South Wales.
Yeah, fuck them. Yeah, I'm just happy that it's not a New South Wales team, unless it's the Dragons, obviously. But
they're going to be so Natalie and Brigley are torn between back in their Queensland counterparts, but they fucking hate Victorians as well. Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a largely maroon, gold and white stadium, I think, on the weekend.
You know what they could do, mate? They might just replay all the good horse racing that's happening this weekend, because it is an absolute smorgasbord. Holy smokes. If we're to get through all these, I think we're doing well.
We need to rattle through a few of them, because there's a lot to get through.
Yeah, all right. Flemington, the rail is out 9 metres. Now, I had a look at my stuff, and last time the rail was out 9 metres, it played pretty fair. I think there's a little bit of rain around, but I think it's about 26 degrees on Saturday in Melbourne last time I checked, so it should be a fair track, I would say. Race 2 is the Maribyrnong Trial, listed at the 1,000 metres for the 2-year-olds as set weights. Don't think we'll give out any tips here. We say the exact same thing each year. Check the jockeys, check the stables, check the market movers. No disadvantage to draw near the rail, so they have something to chase, unless you had any that you wanted to tip out here.
Not at all, mate. I'll be watching with vested interest. All I'll say is that for the 2-year-olds who are fresh, just rely on the stable. If you really want to have a bet, go with the tried and true, your Waterhouse Bots, your Hayes boys, so on and so forth. But no, I'll be watching this. No betting.
Yeah, I think previous winners, Bodyguard, Zolfika, Getting the Spirit Ingratiating, who was a decent horse. So Team Blue have had some success here. So maybe the Lindsay Park up the top, Barry 3, Mark Zara on, potentially one at a decent each way price there. Now, race 2, the Superimposed Stakes, 1,800 metres, listed for 3-year-old set weights and penalties. Previous winners, Keeneland. Riff Rocket, you would remember, he came here after getting defeated by Snowman in the midweeks in Sydney.
That's right.
As a $2 favourite, and he drifted out to $4 and absolutely brained him. Probably,
that's right.
Probably his most impressive first up of one of his most impressive wins in his career, Varley. Mr. Maestro, El Patroness, and Quay, rather. So, some decent horses have won this race. Akora, was only beaten 5 lengths, although he was 5 lengths behind Vinrock last start at Flemington. Steps up 2 furlongs here to the 1,800. This horse reminds me of Finch. I've said that before on this podcast. I think now that he's drawn a gate, he can actually go forward and actually just, lumber out in front. I think he will get better as he keeps stepping out. So he might be 1 or 2 away, but I'm going to start following Cora for the rest of this prep.
Yeah, fair enough. And at a nice juicy price, $12 for the good people at Neds. Dogshit Johnny, maybe he'll find form again on a horse destined to win a Victoria Derby, because that's when he does his best work over those Derby distances. I found this really tricky, to be honest, but talking about Team Blue, they're a bit of a honeypot at the moment. So number 4, Options. If you look at his last start over 1,800 metres, track and trip, Flemington, slowly run race. He was racing keenly, didn't get out, and then bit of interference, so on and so forth. But absolutely bolted home for 3rd. So he's got a sticky gate here. If he can land in a decent spot and And if there's a bit more pace on in the race, I think number 4 Options can run well. He's $6.
Yeah, no, I agree. Race 4 on the program is the Edward Manifold Group 2 over the mile for the 3-year-old fillies at set weights. Previous winners, Too Darn Discreet, won this last year, so it must have been a wet track. Zardozi, she's lickety split. You were in love with that horse back in the day.
I was, yeah.
Elusive Express and Thermosphere. So probably, not the absolute A-graders. Zardozi's probably up there, but the rest of them are probably meh, like Group 2, Group 3 mares. So that's the type of standard that you're finding here. I thought Yum was pretty impressive last start.
Mate, Yum was good, well named. This filly out of Dream Food. I think Yum can win absolutely at $7.50. The race shape last time though was suitable. They went hell for leather up front, and she launched. It was a great ride by Jamie Mott. So don't know if she'll get the same thing here, but Yum is definitely a chance. I've got to stick with the Adelaide form, Maiden Call. On the quick back up here, she's $14 with the good people at Ned's. The early pace of the race was really slow again for her last start in the 1,000 Guineas Prelude. So hopefully there's a bit more pace here, and if there is, that sets up for Yum and this filly, number 9, Maiden Call. I just keep looking at a replay of her debut win, and not a lot of horses can do that, irrespective of where it's being raced. So got to stick with her.
Okay. Race 5 is the Rose of Kingston Stakes Group 2 for the mares at set weights and penalties. Previous winners, Revolutionary Miss, when she was on an absolute tear. She was a winning machine at the time. Life Lessons, Escalita, Still a Star, Group 1 winner, and Sierra Sue, Group 1 winner. So good horses have won this race. Is on display. Is that one of the best duck eggs you've ever seen? Beside, you know what I mean?
She was. It was a hard luck story for sure for On Display. Do you think she bounces back here?
I think she should be my best bet of the day. I would have thought. I think she goes out and wins, all things equal.
I thought that too, and then I looked. Flemington, 1,400 metres. It's never that easy. It's never that easy. Look, I think she can win. I think Miraval Rose is a decent price at $7, and she's got the nice draw. And she likes it. She likes Flemington, and has a good record over the Flemington 1,400 metres. So I think Miraval Rose is a chance. But yeah, all things being equal, On Display should be winning this, and we'll probably start single figures in an Empire Rose, you'd think.
Yeah, good ground is definitely the key to Miraval Rose, and she's probably in career best, you might say. Highly touted as a younger filly, but went off the boil, but she looks like she's officially back. One coming through the grades as a 4-year-old mare as well is number 10 Tuileries for Peter Snowden. Ran pretty well in the Tibby, was third behind O'Diamond Lil, who I actually have a lot of time for. Goes out, runs time out in front. Just a bit of a travelator situation there at Newcastle. Just couldn't really make any ground, but she did make a bit there. So I think Flemington will suit her. $10. She's the Quinella horse for me, so I'll probably have a Quinella with her as well. Race 6 is the Danehill Group 2 1,100 metres set weights and penalties. Mate, good horses have won this race. First settler last year from Stretton Angel, Giga Kick, Kalos, Doubtland, Dalasan, Encryption and Catchy. So not a bad honour roll there. We get to see Tentris return to the track. Are you backing him at $5?
Yeah, I am. I appreciate there's a few in the market in this race, like X amount in single figures. Tycoon Star, if you want to forgive him last start, and he returns to Flemington, and I think that run down the straight will hold him in good stead. Jimmy Ricard's at 8s, Legacy Bound undefeated at 8s. And then you've got Roseburg, who was impressive first up on debut. $4.40, My Gladiola, $5.50, so on and so forth. But I think Tentris is the 3-year-old throbber. His win in was it the Todman or the Silver Slipper he won as a 2-year-old?
He won the Todman.
That's right. And by all reports, like he's been trying up a bomb. And Mark Zahra jumps off the undefeated legacy bound to jump onto Tentris. So could be the stable thing, could be an ownership thing, but I think Mark Zahra is happy to jump on a horse who he thinks is a throbber. So I'm happy to be with Tentris at 5s, but respect for a lot of horses in this race, particularly My Gladiola, one I found last time down the straight. I think it suits her.
Yeah, so just let me have a look. 550 for My Gladiola. I think we'll find out how good she is here. I think Flemington is the perfect track for her. Like, especially in 9-horse field, she almost like gave up as soon as she hit the front there last start. So I think as these horses get into their preps, her included, I think they're going to all improve. So this might be the run that Tentris gets rolled, but it also might be one of the bigger prices that you have to bet on him, because I think
I'm in that camp.
Yeah, so I agree with you. Barrier 5 is a fantastic draw because they can basically pick their own adventure. If the rail's on, they can go that way. If they go out, they can go the other way. So we've seen a ton of intention and from these Godolphin horses first up. But I think there's a reason. Now, Godolphin haven't locked in their Everest slot yet, have they?
No.
I think there's a reason for that. So I'll be backing Tentris to win here from Legacy Bound and My Gladiola. I think they're the clear class in the race.
Yeah, the fact that Bayvar can break the track record of 1,400 metres in a Golden Rose and Godolphin hasn't announced who's taken their slot in the Everest just goes to show the respect I think that they have for this horse.
Oh, yeah, mate. Yeah, he's been the one that we've been waiting for. So, yeah. Race 7 is the Buck Cummings Group 3, 2,500 metres handicap. Any of these horses feature in a Melbourne Cup? Just Fine, Future History, Lunar Flare, Grand Promenade, and Persam. Persam ran 4th, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he ran super.
I think Grand Promenade might have run 4th or 5th as well. So, you're a top 5 chance if you win this. Revelare at 360. What do you reckon?
Yeah, this is one of those ones, mate, where when the markets first opened, not the markets, when the acceptances first came up, I looked at the race and I saw Gilded Water, who I backed when he won last start. I thought, oh yeah, he's going to be second or third favourite at $4 or $5 because they're going to come for Revelare, and I'm going to have a good bet. And I was wrong. He's opened, I think, shorter than $2.70, so he's drifted a little bit, and a bit of money's come for Revelare at $3.60. I think Revelare can win, absolutely. But for me, he's carrying 59 kilos, and Gilded Water is carrying 54, and Gilded Water has the intent here because Revelare is already in the Melbourne Cup. He's already qualified. Whereas Gilded Water needs to win this race, not just to qualify him for the Melbourne Cup, but for him to qualify for the Caulfield Cup, I believe. So he gets 54 kilos. Jamie Carr's got a steer from gate 14, but I really like the way he won last start, and he's a lightly raced Northern Hemisphere 5-year-old gelding. So I'm keen to be on him. He's short enough at $2.70, but I'm happy to be on him. I think Revelare will run well. But I think this is the one where he gets beaten, just so he can get another 2,500 metre run under his belt for the Melbourne Cup prep.
I agree, mate, and I think this has the half yours run from a few weeks ago. It's like you go through this. There was no Revelare in that half yours contest in terms of a threat, so it's like there's obviously a little bit of risk there, but 5 kilo weight swing has to win this, as you said, to qualify for the Cup. So I think the intention is going to be there, right stable as well for these staying contests. In the Kings, mate. I think he's going to run absolutely super. None of the others really scare me here, to be honest. I think Gilded Water you can back with confidence.
Yep.
This Turnbull is fascinating. So am I right in saying you have the Cox Plate favourite, the Caulfield Cup favourite and the Melbourne Cup favourite all going off against each other in Via Sistina, Half Yours, and Sir Delius.
Yeah, and it's the way it should be. This is a cracking race. A lot to digest because, you know, I feel like we talk about grand finals often on this podcast, but I feel like the grand final conversation has been so prevalent this spring, and I think maybe the farcically run Maccabi Diva had something to do with that. None of these horses are here for their grand final. It's like, yeah, but there's a fucking race with prize money on offer and punters money also betting on the race, so we want the horses to actually try and win. So this Turnbull is fascinating to me because we all know that each of these horses have a grand final, which is, for a lot of them, their next start. So then it becomes about, okay, well, who's the best horse? And I think that's what a lot of punters are thinking when they're looking at this race, and what the bookies are thinking too, with Via Sistina at $2.40. But then you throw in the set weights and penalties nature of the Turnbull, and it throws a little bit of a spanner in the works. So I don't think it's super straightforward. There's two that there's probably like six that I'm keen on, to be honest, but there's probably two that I think I might have a bet on. I don't know. How did you see the race?
Yeah, no, very similar and good horse. Like, I think you can get a lot of the riff-raff out of this race as well, because only good horses win the Turnbull. So
yeah.
Via Sistina won it last year. Gold Trip the year prior. Smoke and Roman's an outlier, but he was in career best and went around favourite in a Caulfield Cup that year.
Fuck, that's
Incentivize won it. And won a Caulfield Cup and ran third in a Melbourne Cup, and then Very Elegant won as well, I believe, on her way to a Caulfield Cup. So,
yeah, she did.
So this is a fantastic addition. In terms of a speed map, I think Golden Path goes forward with probably Moira, or not Moira, rather, probably River of Stars goes forward. And potentially, yeah, Sir Delius with a nutcase like that. I think you only ride him one way.
I'm going to really like this horse. He's a funny horse.
Yeah, but I think he can get run of the race sort of stuff, like just camping behind the leaders there, and have the tactical advantage on Via Sistina, who needs to jump well from barrier 1 to get a position, but she obviously has the right jock to do that. And then Aliana, she's the one. I would be shocked if this wasn't the case, but surely they still have nominations in for a Cox Plate and a Caulfield Cup. This is the run that basically decides where they go. If she's running into fifth or sixth and, you know, has the flashing light on her, I reckon they'll pull the Caulfield Cup rein, especially if she beats Half Yours home. So,
yeah.
But if she's in the finish, they'll just take her to a Cox Plate. All that considered, I'm sticking fat with Sir Delius, mate. Like, I think I'm just absolutely in love with this horse. So, I think he's an absolute try. He's probably had the better lead-up run, all things considered as well. So, yeah, I think Sir Delius is the bet in the race for me.
Yeah, I think Flemington's his track too, which you might think counterintuitive considering he's a prominent horse and he likes to be, you know, up in the first third, but he doesn't. He looks to me he needs a bit of galloping room. He looks to me to be that sort of horse, particularly because I think when he went round,
Caulfield.
Where did he win last start? The Caulfield went round the Underwood. I don't think he particularly liked that tight turning track, and Caulfield can throw a few good horses off. So, yeah, he's definitely a winning chance for mine. And there's got to be a question mark over that Maccabi Diva Stakes for these horses. Man, you might raise your eyebrows at this, but I think Half Yours can win at $11. He really impressed me. The more I watched that replay of his last start in a much weaker race, the Group 3 Naturalism. Yeah, the perfect run of the race, yeah, but I think he gets that here as well out of Gate 4. And he was jumping from 1,500 metres up to 2,000 metres, and he was getting stronger as the race went on. So I think staying at 2,000 metres is a big tick. He also has got 56 kilos, so he's carrying a kilo less than Via Sistina, who's a mare, and he's a 5-year-old gelding. And he's got that upside, plus $11. Like, each way price I can have a bit of a bet because I could easily make a case for Antino, so Delius, Via Sistina, Aliana, but they're all half the price. So, although Antino's a pretty big price at $9.50, sorry. So I'm gonna have a little each way bet on half yours, and I think Aliana with the 2 kilo weight swing on Via Sistina can win too. I just don't want to dive into Via at $2.40. Like she can win, absolutely, she can brain him, but you can have her at that price. Like whatever from gate one. Tricky.
If you like Via Sistina and Shock, she's probably the best horse in the country. Her last 5 runs at the distance, she's absolutely brained them. So that's all you really need to know. But at the gate, from that lead-up run, at the price, happy to let her go. And I'd rather bet on something at double the price, who we haven't seen him head-to-head yet. Yeah, and he's a big, thick colt, which I love to see.
Grr.
Yeah. But, mate, half yours, I like it. I don't mind it. All right.
Big step up.
Huge step up. The Gill guy, Group 2, set weights penalties, previous winners, Right to Party, who actually ran pretty well in a champion sprint, getting knocked over by Sunshine in Paris. Star Patrol, Private Eye, Kementari, Zutori, one for the loyal listeners of this podcast, and Sunlight. Sunlight was a good horse.
Oh, yeah, she was. Absolutely. What do you reckon? War Machine's your favourite at $4. Obviously, the Stradbroke winner. Love that form. The stable's been talking about an Everest. Wouldn't surprise me if he comes out and brains them, but keen on Nadal last start before he got scratched. If there's a little bit of money for him, if he's $7.50 now, if Bro gets specced into $5.50, yeah, I'm going to have a bet. I think he's a star, Nadal. He just must be a bit of a nutter. So, keen to have a bet on him. If War Machine comes out and wins with 60 kilos on his back from gate 17 and Blakey Bill on, whatever.
Yeah, he got scratched because of the track upgrade. So, Flemington does drain pretty well. So, if he gets up to a good 3 again, he might be scratched again. He might be an autumn horse. You never know. But yeah, Nadal's obviously won. War Machine, so 4 subsequent winners from that Stradbroke as well already. So
of course.
A horse here that I could forgive at a bit of a price is She's Bulletproof. Now, she needs it absolutely rock hard to show her best. And I'm just basically forgetting that she went around last start where she ran against Tropicus. Sure, only a soft 5, but she had market support there as well. I think she's a good mare on her day. So she's won it at each way price that I could support. And I was really surprised by Star Patrol's return to the races as well. Long time off. Clint McDonald's up and about. If he's a market mover, because that is a betting stable if I've ever seen one.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal training performance. Long layoff, second up, potentially a little bit flat. So it's a very even race, this. So might need to do a bit more form on it, but they're my initial thoughts.
Yep.
All right, the Paris Lane, race 10 on the program, 1,400 metres, your favourite, listed at handicap level. Uncle Bryn won this last year for Tamer Lane, one of yours.
God.
Visionary, Just a Canter, one of our mates' favourites, and Riddle Me That. So that kind of summarises this contest. Kind of has, I reckon if you put Cathay Millennium at the top of that list, he would fit right in with those horses.
Yeah, he would. He would. Hey, the transatlantic form looks pretty good. And Cafe Millennium obviously beat him last start, just got there. Oh, look, he can win again. It's just tricky from that gate and the sort of style of running that he has. I found this race impossible. I could probably give you a bit of a push for Air Assault. Like, he's first up, and he probably needs further, but I know where he's going to be in the run from gate 5. And he's got a bit of weight relief with Jamie on, and sometimes Jamie can just rate them really well, and he's a big price at $15, Air Assault. he's just one of those horses who, will pop up, once at prep, and it's just whether you can get him on the right day. The other horse who I think needs to improve absolutely, based on what he's done so far this prep, is number 5, Is It Me? But he loves 1,400 metres at Flemington. He's had 5 starts and finished in the Quinella every single time. He's got a nice gait, and he's $11. So I don't know. Maybe this is a field job in the quaddie, but they're probably the two at a price that I'd have a throw at the stump set.
I hear that a lot, right? Maybe it's a field job. I don't think I've ever put the field in a quaddie, ever. You know what I mean?
No, nor have I. I might have once or twice, and both times the $3 favourite wins. So
yeah, exactly.
Level lesson.
Can I ask if everything's okay? Because you're finding a lot of Adelaide horses recently. Just bit of a welfare check on you. Is that okay? Are you okay?
No, I'm not. Hey, this is just mafia seeping into victim territory. That's all. Mate, who knows what's going on in Victoria? They're in licorice all sorts. So there might be a move to the quieter city of churches in Adelaide for the victim in the future.
Yeah, I think housing's much more affordable down there as well.
God, yeah.
Rightfully so. Now, a horse that you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to tip it at 30s. He's only had 2 runs on his Melbourne leg. Now, he was at 100-1 in the Sir Rupert Clarke, beaten 5.5 lengths, so he put in an okay effort there. We gutted dog Jide McNeil on board, but his only other run on his Melbourne leg was in the Railway Stakes, and yours truly did tip him that day, Port Lockroy. On his day, can put in a performance, and this is much easier. He's a Group 1 winner, and you're getting $31.
Yeah,
Barrier 4, going to get kissed on the absolute gelder. Oh, he's an entire. Kissed on the entire's penis in this run. So I reckon $30, I reckon he'll give you a sight.
Yeah, fair enough.
And if he doesn't, then, so be it. The breeders, similar thoughts here to the gym, what was the Maribyrnong? The breeders and the gym crack here. I might just rattle through the previous winners here. So, breeders, King Kirk, who passed away, didn't he, at a training accident? So, yep. He was good. Espionage, the stablemate to Bodyguard, I believe, in the same silks. Empire of Japan. I think our mate Josh McClellan saw that horse win this race and had a sizable bet in the Golden Slipper. Didn't make the field. Sejardin, I think the same thing happened.
That's right.
And Fireburn won, the stablemate. And then Shakiro, who won a Magic Millions after that. And then the gym crack, Belle Merci won last year, Manal the year before, so she's actually quite a little bit of a marvel, Manal, still winning as a 4-year-old mare now. Platinum Jubilee, one of the biggest hyped horses you've ever hoped to see. Coolangatta, obviously a Group 1 winner, and then Enthar, hilarious.
God.
So rocks and diamonds in the gym crack. Yeah. Bit more form needed to be done on these races, but yeah, Randwick railing the true as well.
I'm just excited to see a few of Home Affairs' first progeny running around. So by all accounts, he's just stamping them. The son of I'm Invincible. So race 2, I'm Your Huckleberry, is a Home Affairs colt, and then race 3. Home Invasion is a Home Affairs filly, both with Hippo Adam Hippopotamus on, and both with Waterhouse and Botts stable. So, no betting, but happy to watch them go around. Should be interesting.
Mate, hippos are one of the most dangerous beasts in the savannah. They claim a lot of human lives.
They do, mate. They do.
Yeah. So tip against the hippo at your peril.
Hey, he knows how to get them home.
What race is this? Race 4, the Dulcify, 1600 metres, Group 3 at set weights. I thought Attica was impressive at the midweeks. Has to step up here, but without Pierre, one of mine needs to do it on what's likely going to be a good track as well. But stepping out to the 1600 metres looks absolutely perfect for that horse.
Yeah, it does. I found this tricky as well. Fuck. If you get this one right, you'll have a fill up. I thought Ruination, coming out of the midweeks as well, was pretty good. Winning at Newcastle last start. Wootton Bassett, Colt out of Daisy Doom. Remember that horse? The other one is number 4, Federalist, the son of Arcadia Queen.
Needs to start doing something.
Just needs to start doing something, and it could be the time where it's at $8.50 and everyone's jumped off. The Hawk stable's battling at the moment, aren't they? A few of their hype horses not going super, although Briasa. We'll find out about that horse this weekend.
One scratch from barrier 1 by the looks of it. So jumping from barrier 5, set weights out to the mile, where his mummy absolutely thrived.
If it's going to happen.
It's D-Day, right? It's D-Day. Come on.
If it's going to happen. I don't know. Hard to have a strong opinion.
All right. Race 6 is the Flight Stakes, 1600 metres, Group 1 for the 3-year-old fillies at set weights. You're an apocalyptic guy. Do they beat her? Do they turn the tables on her?
Oh, look, I don't think so. Everything from her last 2 starts suggests that she has panels on them. If only racing was that simple, right? I'm not $1.85. Idiot. If I was counting her last start in the T-Rose, I should have backed her here. But it is what it is. So probably too short for me to have a bet, but I think she wins. Shout out to Sneesby Racing with number 8 Enviable at 21s. The daughter of Frankel. Hope she runs well.
Previous winners, right? So Lady Shenandoah, Tropical Skawal, Zugotcha, Never Been Kissed, one of yours, Montefilia, Funstar, and Uhood, who I believe broke her maiden in this race. So to Picara, there is a little bit of form there. Couldn't possibly go back to the scene of the crime, though. She just had no match. Was she a little bit flat second up after that flashing run? Potentially. She ran super second up as well against the bias behind Spicy Lou, third up last prep, but she has to do it from barrier 11. I could be talked into. I think the best roughie in the race is number 6, Karinska. I've been waiting for this horse to get out to a mile, and she just looks like she's going to absolutely lap it up in the Star Thoroughbred Silks. So I think she's potentially one. I reckon this horse might win the same race that Aliana won on Everest Day last year. I'm just putting that out there if they go there. But yeah, Karinska at 19s, potentially one for the exotics, but Apocalyptic, awfully hard to beat. Now the Premier Stakes. I've got a massive previous winners list here. Group 2, 1200 metres way for age. Airman last year from Think About It, Lost and Running, Mars Crusader, Libertini, Brutal, Santa Ana Lane, and In Her Time. So only good sprinters win this race. Are you Team Briasa or Team Jimmy?
I'm Team Jimmy.
Team Jimmy.
Team Jimmy. Private Harry was... I think he was too disappointing last start. You know what I mean? I think... Look, the amount of improvement he'd have to make between that first up run here to win at $4 still, which is no steal. I would love to see him bounce back, absolutely, but not when I can get a similarish price for Jimmy Starr, who, small field, 1,200 metres, rail in the true Randwick, with what appears to be a lot of pace on. Yeah, keen on him this weekend.
Yeah. I've, in some of my ill-fated all-ups with Sir Delius into a Caulfield Cup, I had Jimmy placing in an Everest at about $4 or $5 maybe.
It's good shopping.
I think he's just the forgotten local, Jimmy Starr. Like he just looked a bit fat first up. He's been trialled up since. I think he's well on track for an Everest. I think he's going to be one of the best locals. And his turn of foot is breathtaking. Some of the best. So I agree. I'm Team Jimmy. He might be one run away though. Now, a horse that I think she is. Would you be shocked if Tiger Shark won this race? Because I wouldn't be.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. She's had a super prep. The first up run, she's got that in her. What we've learnt with her is that she needs the pace on and she needs clear galloping room, which I think she'll get here. She's drawn gate 4 and she's got Nash. So at $27, there's definitely worse bets you could have. Like ran super in the Concord, ran super when she went down to easier grade in Melbourne. Maybe the triple A has brought her on a bit. 27 is a price worth having a bet on, absolutely.
Mate, I think she's absurd odds because she ran home quicker time than Lady Shenandoah first in that Concord. Now, Lady Shenandoah was first up there. She was second up, sure. But you still have to go out there and do it. She's gone to Caulfield, won from what was frankly an impossible position. And sure, benchmark 100 grade, but Oak Hill had some supporters in like Manicatos or Moya Stakes or whatever it may be. I have to have a bet on her at $27. Like, I think she's just absurd. Like, has to go in your quaddies, I would think.
Yeah. I think she can win, absolutely. So maybe a weird and exotic bet with Ned's Jimmy Starr, Tiger Shark in a Quincy. That'd pay all right.
Yeah. Now, the Epsom 1600 metres Group 1 for handicap. Let me rattle off. So Cheerwolf's looking to go back to back. Redina knocked off
Kovalika.
Yeah, sorry, bro. One of the great fill-ups for your boy. Ellsberg in top ranked, dead heated. So I was on top rank that day. Private Eye didn't find him, and then we were both on Probabile from barrier 20, I reckon, with Kieran. Now, Kieran has to do something similar from barrier 14 on the shorty Autumn Glow. Before we get to Autumn Glow, though, Cheerwolf had a bleed last start. Am I forgetting the rules of racing? I thought that's a mandatory break.
I think they found blood in his nostril because I saw that too, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I read back, and yeah, I think they found a bit of blood in his nostril, but it wasn't like a full-on bleed. So I don't think that's a. I think that's he has to have a vet inspection as opposed to ruling him out straight away for the rest of the prep.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going well enough anyway.
Bro hasn't been going well since he won the Prince Charles.
Yeah.
Well, let's be real. I'd be shocked if he wins this as the toppy in an Epsom. Look, good on Joe Pride for running him here because a lot of other trainers wouldn't as the top weight. So good on him. Look, if it's a fast run mile race, that'll bring out the best in him. So he'll have his supporters absolutely, but no, I haven't landed on him, that's for sure.
So Autumn Glow, barrier 14. They're going to know exactly where she is in the run. They'll probably aim to stick her out wide. She still go out there and get the JD?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. The barrier's spooky, absolutely. But she has an electric turn of foot that'll get her out of there. And I think the Waller Camps had this circle as a grand final for the entire prep. So she's a class above. I think, if you're interested in diving in at $2.20, I couldn't begrudge her because she was shorter last week. And the gate spooked some people. So I think she comes out here and wins Autumn Glow and then heads towards probably a Golden Eagle, I'd suggest, and will be incredibly hard to beat. Look, there could be some bad luck stories, absolutely, but I think Karen just gets her comfortable, even if it's wide, no cover. Just get her comfortable and just find the gaps and just let her build into her gears. like her daddy, the Autumn Sun, and she should win. This race has an incredibly long tail, and you're seeing this more and more in our handicap races from horses, 7 to 14. There's NCAP with 52 kilos, and then Lord Penman with 50 kilos. So an incredibly long tail. Of those lighter weighted horses, I think El Costello at 18s is probably a roughie I'd include in exotics. He was good enough first up after a long layoff, and I think he's a Group 1 horse. So I think he can run well from gate 1. But I'm not trying to complicate it. I think she just wins.
Yeah. I might have a couple of different exactors here. Autumn Glow from Pericles, who
One of
in
the
these in these honestly, mate, weight doesn't
carries
worry
weight, the
me.
big fella. He carries weight,
Carries
the big fella.
weight, and the class horse in these handicaps typically runs really, really well. So he's proven it time and time again. His career best runs have been in these handicap miles. So
He's a funny horse.
yeah, and you know the absolute knockout, and you know what? Chuck it in your quaddie for insurances drifters, but it is Swift Falcon.
It is,
And
yeah. He's a prick of a horse.
50 kilos, he is absolutely lobbed in here. And sure, everyone would be disappointed from that Cameron handicap run, but he was basically last in the field there on a day where you could not make ground. And he's only been beaten 3 lengths into 6th there. So against, yes, your Headley Grangers and your Viviers and your Fully Lits, but I don't know. I think Barrier 4 will just be off him. He'll probably get the Brutal run, where Brutal won this race. He won at Doncaster, rather. But same stable. I could just see him getting the run of the race, and he has 4.5 kilos off Autumn Glow. I think he's going to give Autumn Glow something to chase. I think at $15, he is the Quinella exacta horse for me.
Yep. No, well said. Swift Falcon, fucking hell. It would be just like him to win this race. It would be just like him. He's a prick of a horse. But anyway, looking forward to Autumn Glow. Hopefully, we've given Karen a lot of shit on this podcast over the years. God knows, if he absolutely butchers this, God knows what will happen to him.
I was talking about the Metropolitan handicap 2,400 metres at Randwick. What are your thoughts on Birdman from Barrier 17 with Kieran McAvoy in the saddle?
Makes it tough. But he was really good in the Kingston Town last start. It was his first win in Australia, but he's been a different horse this prep compared to his last prep. And he's got the right sort of form, and he won't know himself with 51.5 kilos. But absolutely, he'll need some luck, and he's a winning chance at $6. But I don't think it's that straightforward. Half the field can win this. I understand why they've got Soul of Spain as the favourite now, because he's 1-3 on the bounce. But if he's the favourite, then Royal Supremacy at $10 seems like a really good bet. Just missed him in Newcastle last start. What was that race called?
Newcastle Gold Cup.
And get some weight off him and has a nice draw. So I think Royal Supremacy's a bet. I think Piggyback's a bet at 23s. I thought she was really, really good. Last start beating home Juju Kibo. And, she's only got 50 kilos. And then for me, I'm looking at Flying Bandit at 21s and also fucking Vauban at 11s as the toppy who can bounce back and is so much better than a lot of these. And if he bounces back, can absolutely win. And then the old boy Rapaho at 13. So I don't know, mate. This might be a field job for the quaddie, but I don't know. Maybe I'll find a couple of roughies and have a few small each ways. But did you have a firm opinion at all?
Zero firm opinion, mate. I thought changing the guard, I think they might have figured this horse out. Pardon me. Flemington on the 2nd of August, 5 weeks between runs there. Looking at 4 or 5 weeks between runs again here. And that form has been somewhat franked with Travolta running pretty well since. I would have thought so. I think changing the guard could potentially just control this from out front as well. But I think given the size of the field, I think it will have more flies in the ointment. It won't be as tactical. Mate, I was really taken by Birdman. I think, we saw Willow do it the other week. Back-to-back specials from sticky barriers. Why can't Kieran do the same thing?
Well, I can list the reasons why, but but no, you're right. I think Birdman absolutely is a winning chance, and the connections were definitely disheartened after drawing that gate. But in a race like this, it doesn't matter where you draw. I think you need luck anyway. Unless you're a thing that leads and you draw an inside gate and you take luck out of the equation. If you're not that, then you need luck anyway. So, good luck to the connections. He can win absolutely Birdman. And he's not the worst price to find out. He's $6 with Neds.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, the chances don't finish there. Our coverage does, though. But, there's I think there's a juicy one in the last, so you'll have to tune into the On the Drift Instagram with what the Sydney source selects there. She's an artist returns to the races as well after being disappointing. Will the Victorian Victim tune in there?
Maybe. Look, the Victorian Victim's having a bit of a look at race 10 in Sydney, and he or she likes a roughie. The bloodsucker Les Vampire is a $26. I think it's a ridiculous price. There's plenty of juice to be had.
All right, mate. Thank you as always. Pray for this program. Uploading because I really don't want to record it again. But
no.
If we do, then that's literally what we're paid to do, and it might just be a little bit late, but no one will hear this anyway. Go Broncos! God bless horse racing. God bless Sir Delius. Get the job done.
Go Sports. I just hope everyone has a good time.
Hooroo.
See yous.